I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Stand strong. You are powerful.
Stand strong. You are inspiring.
We are fighters. We are ambitious.
We are extraordinary. We are conquerors. Simply Straight Talk, our voices will be heard.
This is Simply Straight Talk. Tune in now, you don't want to miss out. Real conversation, plenty motivation. Keep you thinking and still entertaining. Yeah, I know that you'll enjoy the mottos. Free your voice, it's your choice. Hosted by Reggie B, but you already know. And you gotta check them out and how we roll. Hey, ain't nothing off the table, give it to you straight. Changing your mindset, talking past mistakes. You ain't gotta wait, time to take off. This is Simply Straight Talk.
Welcome to the Simply Straight Talk podcast. It's Melissa, and you're listening to a podcast about real life. And you know, between me, Reggie, and Angelique, it's about to get real. Each week, we deliver the best hard-hitting topics on relationships, mental health, parenting, business, and anything else that promotes self-care while keeping it real. We care about what affects you. Now let's start the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Simply Straight Talk. And to all the haters out there who are listening to run back and try to find something to hate on more about, welcome to you too. You know what I'm saying? I'm an all-inclusive, just welcome of everybody. People who love me, thank you, and the people who hate me, you know? So I just welcome everybody. What's going on, people? What's going on? And the haters, you know who you are. But what's going on, people, man? What's up? So today, we've been hearing a lot in the news about people that's doing things. Let's talk, well, we're going to focus, this is about celebrities, okay? We're going to talk about Morant. We're going to talk about Irvin. And the goal is to what can we learn from their situation? And let's just keep it 100. Now, the thing about it is, both of these stories have been plastered all over the news. All over the news, okay? Now, for those of you who haven't heard, Morant plays with the Memphis Grizzlies. The team was doing good, on the way to possibly competing in the NBA championship. Morant goes out, and he shows a gun on it. I think it was on his Instagram. He's showing a gun, and it just went further than he should have allowed it to happen. Now, some people will say, now we're going to jump right on into this. Some people will say, hey, it's his Instagram, you know, he didn't hurt nobody. But you got to realize something. He plays for a professional sport. Just like many companies, they care about their branding, especially when they consider you like the face of their brand. Like if you're the type of person that they know that people recognize who they are because of who you are and what you do for the organization, they take a strong interest in your behavior on and outside of the work environment. And for him, the work environment is the basketball court. But when you're a celebrity, your work environment not only is on the basketball court, but it extends into your home and to your social media. So apparently he was at a strip club and he decided to pull out a gun and show it. Allegedly, you know, he dished out about $50,000. And when I hear of celebrities, like I'm not about people having fun. All right. I'm not above that. I agree. Have fun, but be responsible. You know, but when I hear somebody just dishing out $50,000, and I know some people are going to say, well, those girls are dancing, they deserve to get paid. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not going to sit here and say and play the saint and say like I have never been to a strip club when I have been to a strip club. But I'm going to tell you right now, even if I had $50,000 to toss away, it would not be at the strip club. I'm sorry. That's just me. But anyway, that's his money. So the problem is when he branded the gun and flashed it on his Instagram Live, word got around. It got back to the NBA, and they take that stuff very seriously now. especially most social media accounts take it very seriously when you start flashing a weapon on social media. You'll see even a lot of content creators like YouTube has started to where if you're showing a gun, your video or whatever content you posted with a weapon in it may get taken down and they may flag you for a violation. So you have to be really careful about that. But I know celebrities get a lot of leeway. They do. They get a lot of leeway. A lot of leeway that the average content creators just simply can't get away with. But the point being, he flashed a gun, it got back, but apparently there are some rules regarding the NBA that, like, you can't have a gun while traveling, you can't have a gun in the facility where you're playing or working at. So it becomes the issue of when did the gun come into play? When did he get the gun? But we want to talk about the accountability of it all. The accountability. Now, granted, a lot of these people that come into the NBA, they're young. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. For anybody who listens to me, you know that I am not a LeBron James fan at all. But you got to give him credit for the fact that he has not gotten caught up in any of that type of stuff. He seems to make sure that he stays clear of that stuff. Trae Young, I'm a big fan of Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young does not get caught up in any of that type of stuff. So it's really about why are some of these individuals coming into these athletic and entertainment areas and losing all sense of responsibility and accountability? Is it the fact that they're making so much money that they feel untouchable? Maybe because, like, Ja Morant is an incredible talent, man. This dude is a hell of a basketball player. So for him to exhibit this type of behavior is simply not necessary. And, and now the fact that I think he's been suspended for like 8 games and he's right now out indefinitely. He's supposedly getting help. They haven't really clarified what the help is. But for me, I think some of it is just maturity. It's like you come in, you're getting all this money. And I think it was Magic Johnson who said at one time that, don't quote me on that, but I believe it was Magic Johnson that said it, that, new players coming into like the NBA should start off at the league minimum. And I'm actually not opposed to that, but it should only be for that one season. Like for your first season, you come in at the league minimum. Because a lot of these guys are coming in, man. Just imagine you're fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, and you're going into the NBA and you're making $30 and $40 million. A lot of these cats have never seen that type of money. Now, all of a sudden, you got the fame that's behind the money. You know what I'm saying? Your face is everywhere, especially if you are a big player. You may get the mentality that I'm untouchable. The team won't do nothing to me because I'm the star player. I'm putting up 20, 30 points a night. They need me. They need me. The NBA know I put fans in the seats. So some of them get that mentality and that attitude, and they start to feel like I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want to do. And it's sad because you don't want to see anybody lose their career. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. And, now you got sponsors who are saying, okay, I'm not fooling with you no more. I'm pulling out. Okay? I don't care how good you were, but this type of behavior, because most contracts, most sports and entertainment contracts, especially sports, they come with a morale clause, which means if you do something that's morally or ethically wrong, they can drop you and owe you nothing. Owe you absolutely nothing. So you do have a responsibility to be sensible about your actions and behaviors in what you do. I mean, you're making money doing what the heck you love to do. You love playing basketball. You love playing football. You love playing hockey. You love playing soccer. Like, you have the dream that so many young people want to achieve because they feel like it's easy money. especially if you have a true love and passion for the game. Why would you do something stupid like that? And I'm sorry. I find I cannot justify Ja Morant's behavior. I can't. It's stupid. There are people out here working these 9-to-5s who would kill just to make $100,000 a year. And you out here making $15 to $20 million a year? To us, you can't justify that behavior. You pay me $20 million a year and say, listen, I need you to be morally, ethically correct about what you do, how you behave. That's not saying you can't go out. That's not saying you can't go and do things. But number one, you don't need to be caught up in fighting. You don't need to be caught up in drugs. You know, you need to make sure that you're respectful when you're out in public. You're behaving yourself in a courteous manner. That's it. That's it. That's basically what they are requiring. And if Pepsi is sponsoring me when you go out, I need you to drink Pepsi. Okay. You paying me how much? $5 million a year to be a spokesperson? And you want me to drink Pepsi? I'll be a Pepsi drinking motherfucker. Okay? I would. There, I said it. Call me Pepsi. Call me Pepsi. Pepsi, call me. All right? Call me Pepsi. I like Pepsi over Coke anyway. But anyway, the thing about it is, you do have a moral obligation to be responsible for your actions. And I know a lot of people say, and you know, entertainers, sports athletes, some of them will say, no, we're not role models. We're athletes. We're entertainers. That's all we are. But anytime you hop in front of a camera and you have fame, you have fortune, then yes, you automatically assume the role model title. I'm sorry. It's just there. It's a part of the deal. I mean, there's absolutely no way to avoid it. That's a part of being famous. But people don't want to accept that. You know, Ja Morant, I'm pretty sure he's a great guy if you know him in person. I don't know him, never met him. But it's just so hard to see certain people work and who are striving and struggling right now to reach a certain point in life. And when individuals get that opportunity and they blow it, or they're putting it all at risk over stupid antics, there's just no justification for it. There's not. There's no justification. None at all. The good thing is, I will say this, I don't ever want to see a brother go to jail. There's no criminal charges being pressed against him, which is good. And I'm pretty sure he'll be back. You know, he'll do the suspension, he'll be back. But they probably going to be watching him like a hawk. Like, no, this is not going to happen again. This is not going to happen again. And hopefully he will learn from this. Because often when celebrities get in trouble, they come back with these little BS apologies. It's kind of like, yeah, I just wanted to apologize for everything that happened. I recognize that I did wrong. And I just want to say that I thank God for my opportunities. And I respect my fans and I respect the organization. And, you know, my behavior was totally out of line. And I just want to apologize to anybody I may have hurt or disappointed, because I do care about basketball and I care about the fans. And I want to be a good role model. And that's what they come back and say. That's what they come back and say. It's the same thing from every celebrity entertainer when they get into some mess. All of a sudden, they're apologizing to the fans. They realize it was wrong. Trust me, you knew it was wrong when you did it. Because I guarantee you had to sneak that gun somewhere. You had to stash it somewhere so nobody would see it. So if you had to go through all that, like, man, you going to the strip club? Yeah. Hold on. I got to figure out where I'm going to put my gun, man. Because I don't want them to drop out. I don't want nobody to see it. Yeah, I just put it right here. So clearly you knew you shouldn't have had it. You knew it. Whenever you got to figure out how to maneuver and do something or hide something so nobody else will figure out what you're doing, then clearly you knew what you was doing was wrong from the beginning. Just like cheating. If you are married or you dating somebody and you in a serious relationship and you see this other person and y'all are driving to somebody's house and you're thinking, okay, what time I gotta be back? We gotta make sure we got condoms. Let me, do I need to turn my phone off? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? If you're going through all of that, then get to somebody's house. Start undressing in front of somebody else that you know is not your husband or boyfriend. And you mean to tell me you did not realize you were cheating? Come on now. Come on. Accountability, man. You got to be accountable for your actions. You got to learn to stop yourself. When you have those thoughts that, oh, crap, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. If I'm having to go through if I'm having to figure out all of this just to go and do this, then something's wrong. Let me stop. Ja Morant, brother, I hope you get it together. I hope, it works out. You can come back and play the sport. When you come back, I hope you come back with professional growth, personal growth, and that you don't let this happen again. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for Ja Morant. Now let's move on to Mr. Michael Irvin. Mr. Michael Irvin, let me tell you something. I hated this man when he played for the Dallas Cowboys because I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I hated this man. Not haters and hate, just sports hate, like don't beat my team type hate. And he showed out when he played him. Made me sick. But here's the situation with Michael Irvin. Apparently, when Michael Irvin was supposed to be going to the Super Bowl when they played as one of the sports commentators, that night before the game, I guess he went out, had a few drinks, came back to the hotel. A couple fans stopped him. He was talking to this lady. Then it came back that he said some things that was inappropriate, like sexual misconduct. The hotel apparently called the NFL. The NFL apparently told him, you got to leave the hotel. Can't come to the Super Bowl. He was taken off ESPN. So right now he's sort of in limbo. So he decided to fight it, and they filed a $100 million federal lawsuit. But once they got the actual names of the people involved, because the Marriott Renaissance would not release the video, which had no audio, but the video did show the interaction between him and this young lady. And, so they didn't want to release it. His lawyer actually got them to release it. Then they posted it. You can see it on YouTube, everything that happened. So it sort of contradicts some of the things that were said about how he was touching her. From what I saw, he touched her elbow like 3 times, but it's like, when you're talking to somebody and laughing and somebody say something like, you give a little tap on the elbow. He did that. Fellas, let me tell you something. Do not touch women. I don't care if it's jokingly playing, because sometimes when you just like laughing and talking and joking, or like say, like a woman comes up and says, oh, I spoke to you, you didn't even speak. And then maybe just that you didn't hear. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. You might pat him on the shoulder. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not touch him. Okay? And it was just an innocent touch. It wasn't like he grabbed her elbow and squeezed it or held it and tried to pull her into it. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. So it ended up being where he's been taken off ESPN. He didn't get to go to the Super Bowl. So he's now filed a $100 million lawsuit in Arizona. The Marriott allegedly is trying to distance themselves from the Renaissance, which is like an underbrand of the Marriott. So, and most of these hotel chains are just independently owned. They basically sign a franchise agreement or a license to use the name of the bigger brand companies, because people are more familiar with the Marriott, the Hilton, Choice Hotels. So people are just more familiar with them. So more people will use them out of fact familiarity with the name. So So Choice is like, don't say us, please don't say us. So the Marriott is basically saying that, listen, that Renaissance is just licensed to use our name. So they're trying to distance themselves from them in what it appears to me. Now, first off, I think let's look at the situation. When you are a celebrity, Michael Irvin, you're a celebrity. Now, we all know, and people keep saying, well, Michael Irvin had this situation back in his past. We're not talking about his past. We're talking about the present. And I do agree with what some people are saying, that sometimes because you may have had similar situations in your past, people may question your integrity when it comes to the present regarding behavior. But being a celebrity, you are a target. And I think Michael Irvin knows this, or should know this. You are a target. And I really don't understand why these celebrities keep putting themselves in these situations. Now, I don't know if Michael Irvin travels with his own security. I don't know if the NFL or ESPN provides security for their sports analysis when they go out. But things like this, if I'm in his position, I already know, especially if it's a palm, they coming for you. But if I'm Michael Irvin, if I'm a celebrity, I'm going to make sure that I have something to cover myself. There are audio devices that you can buy. There are video cameras, webcams, body cams that you can buy that are small, that are discreet. I would just make sure that I am covered. Now, you want to talk about somebody who does this well? It's Deion Sanders. Give Deion Sanders credit. This man carries a camera crew with him. He has a friend, I believe, somebody that he uses in his camp that documents everything with him. So when Deion Sanders is out in public, most likely one of his own people is recording their interactions. See, Deion Sanders understands. Deion Sanders, like, you ain't about to catch me out there. Deion Sanders knows the game. He knows that if people can catch him out there, they will do it. They know you're a millionaire and they figure they can get a couple hundred or a couple million from you. They're going to go for it. So these celebrities need to be accountable. And understand, Michael Irvin, some fans come up, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph? If I saw Michael Irvin, you damn right I'm going to want an autograph. It's Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, NFL legend. I still wish he would have played for the Steelers, but not giving him a pass, there has to be some accountability that he has to be conscious that he is Michael Irvin. He is well known. He is rich. So therefore, he is a target. So he has to take extra steps to ensure that when he goes out and he gets in situations like this, I'm beyond, and this is no respect against females. If I am a celebrity and I am going out, I'm going to be very apprehensive when people come up to me, especially females. Not that I dislike females or distrust females, but because you are at a higher status, you are more subject to people trying to target you for litigation. That is why I say that. See, right now, women don't pay me no attention. Women ain't studying me. I walk in somewhere. You know what women pay me attention? It's the women in restaurants who I sit at their table because they want to tip when they bring the check. Those are the women that pay me attention. But if I was a millionaire, a celebrity with fame, I'm going to get more attention. They're going to pay more attention to me for the simple fact of there's something I have that either they may want or they want it. They want money or they want the fame. And some women in the event, this is not all women, I'm saying some, but some women in the event that you don't go along with what they're saying may find, okay, well, if you're not going to do this, this, and this, then you know what? I'm going to say you said this. I'm going to say you did this. And for Michael Irvin's situation, he was there talking to that young lady, and it's now turned into a hearsay thing. And it's the same for women. Women has to protect themselves also. Because you got some lazy, sorry men out here who will try to accuse a woman of doing something or saying something. So you have to be careful when you have a celebrity status and you got money, because you are a target for litigation. Now, I knew when this first came out, when I heard the facts, like, this is not a criminal case. There's no way this is going to turn into a criminal case. This is going to be strictly civil. And that's what it was. It's a civil case. The thing about it is, it really sucks, because if Michael Irvin, from what I've heard, Michael Irvin has always been pretty good with, well, as of recently, I'm going to say he's been really good with the fans. Like, he's not the type of celebrity that doesn't mind doing autographs or taking pictures when it's reasonable. This could change that. This is what, not only him, but this is what may change other celebrities to where they're like, you know what? Or when I come back, I'm going straight to my room. I don't want to talk. I'm not taking any pictures. I'm not signing any autographs. I guarantee you, when Michael Irvin comes back, when this is all said and done, and if he's cleared, watch how he will change in the way he interacts with fans. If he does, it's going to be in a controlled environment to where there's going to be cameras, there's going to be bodyguards, and it's going to be like, here's your autograph 2 to 3 feet away. So, you know, it's just crazy the way this whole thing is going, how this all came about. The only thing I could see is that they're saying that when the NFL asked about it, he said he didn't talk to anybody. And I can understand, because if somebody, okay, let's say I went into Walmart, okay, and someone at Walmart said, okay, this person made a sexual allegation, and say I was a big corporate CEO or something, and they said, like, well, this person, you know, they say he made this sexual allegation, you know, we got this sexual misconduct against this person. If you approach me like that, I'm saying, what are you talking about? I didn't take nobody to my room. I didn't do nothing to nobody. But then when they come back, like, well, they said when you walked in the Walmart, you know, you was talking to this lady, like, oh, yeah, well, I did talk to her, but you got to be really clear. But apparently he said that he did not do anything or talk to anybody. So you got to be really clear about that. And he did admit that he had been drinking. But the other thing is, he said he didn't even remember who she was. So an attorney on the other side can say, well, if you didn't remember who she was, is it possible you could not have remembered exactly what you said? So you see how things can play against you. You have to be mindful of your actions or behavior. So if you are drinking, especially if you're somebody of a celebrity status, but if you're drinking, man, don't drink to the point to where you cannot remember what is going on or what is taking place. Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly. I can't say that enough. Drink responsibly. If you're going out to drink, do it responsibly. Don't drink to the point to where you can't remember who you talked to, what you may have said. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in that situation. Be mindful of your environment. And you know when you're starting to get a slight buzz on when you're drinking. Okay, time to push back a little bit. Because I guarantee you that's going to come up in the court. That he said he didn't remember her. I had a few drinks. But like I said, looking at the video from the conversation, which there is no audio, but you can see him and her talking, at no point does she look like she's offended or she looks like she wants to lead the conversation. At no point. It doesn't even look like a situation where someone said something that was sexually offensive and the other person felt a certain way about it. The whole 2 minutes of conversation just about looks consensual. It looks like they're both just having a regular conversation and that was it. And like I said, that's why you got to be mindful. But the fact that the Renaissance Hotel did not want to release that video, they had to force them to release the video. That's a problem. That's a problem in itself. That tells me that there's so much more to this story and going on that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about it at all. But the thing about it is, man, it don't matter if you're a celebrity or not. Be responsible in your drinking. Be mindful of your behavior when you're out. If you're going out, don't be flashing guns. Don't be out rolling joints and smoking and doing drugs. You got to consider the fact that social media is an open platform that anybody can view, no matter what job you're applying for. Even if you're getting into relationships, people can see your social media and they can establish opinions about you. So be mindful of that and think about that. All right? So that's it for today's show, man. Y'all be good. These are my opinions and thoughts about these two individuals. I wish them nothing but the best, man, and I hope it really works out. It's really sad to see these two brothers in this situation, but hopefully everything works out and everybody can get back on track. Michael Irvin can get his name cleared. Ja Morant can get himself back into the game of basketball with a little more growth from this and a little more maturity. All right? Hey, so thank you for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. My name is Reggie, and I'm out. Peace. See you next week.
It has been wonderful sharing this conversation with you here on the Simply Straight Talk podcast. If you have feedback on today's episode, DM us on Instagram at Reggie_BM11 or email speak@simplystraighttalk.com. We'd love to hear from you. Join us again next Friday for more solution-based conversation and tips for how to deal with the challenges of life. Thanks for listening.